ground advantage struck once again this season in the Global Champions League as the Paris Panthers, led by Ben Meyer and Derek Kenny, were able to pick up their first victory of the season. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, were able to solidify their lead on top of the championship standings. But it was a weekend to forget for the Berlin Eagles, who had the title in their hands. But a new weekend, a new stage means new opportunities to jump for glory. Let's head to stage 10 in Monaco.
We're back to the amazing French Riviera, to the world-famous Grand Prix destination. Monaco will host the best show jumping on a magical backdrop at the smallest arena of the tour. Precision, skill, super yachts, and impressive jumps. The Longines Global Champions Tour of Monaco, from the 13th of June to the 2nd of July.
From one of the trickiest grounds in Paris just a week ago, we now head to Monaco and get ready for the smallest, arguably one of the most technical grounds in the 2022 calendar, as the best riders in the world all gather and come towards one another in Monaco as we get ready for stage 10 of the Global Champions League. My name is Mark Lewis. Thank you for joining us today, and we are getting ready for what is going to be the last event before an extended summer break, making this stage perhaps one of the most crucial of the year, because it might be this momentum, this form, that whoever succeeds in Monaco is able to take forward into the upcoming 3 legs towards the back end of the summer. We will be going to Monaco. We'll find out about this incredibly tight, intimate, small and technical ring. We'll also find out who is in the start list, which teams have decided to bring which riders and which horses. We will show it all for you. Before we get there, let's take you back to Paris in stage 9 and remind you just how good a weekend it was for the Paris Panthers.
Let's have a look at Queensland E with Lily Keenan. Keenan, who now goes first for the team, where she went second in round 1. And Lily Keenan with a very important clear there. Great round from Lily Keenan. This lady has to ride clear. Corleon van Vlierbeek with Lily Atwood. Corleon with 3 rounds so far for the team. No clears at this point. Starts positive. Whoa! She's losing a little bit of the shape of the jump over that upright. Lily Atwood is doing a great job and is about to produce her first ever clear, as there's a plank and it's the first ever clear for Lily Atwood. And there finally, for the first time in many, many stages, there is a smile to be seen on the face of Lily Atwood. McMahon with 5 appearances this season, but no clears. They are counting on it that for the first time this season, Owen McMahon is going to produce a clear for the team at the moment that they need him. When they call for help, he is there to help, and she runs out of the plank. No! Berlin Eagles have just dropped all the way to 26 penalties after the run-out, and look at the despair in the eyes of Owen McMahon. Ben Meyer needs to jump clear in a time of 71 seconds to keep Paris Panthers in front of Miami Celtics. Seeing that Ben Meyer is posting a tremendous time to put the Paris Panthers in the lead. There it is, 70.01 seconds, and it is by 2 seconds that Paris Panthers take the lead, but give a massive lead way to Istanbul Sultans. It's André Americo de Miranda with Hilfiger van de Zuidhoeven. And this man makes his debut this weekend. He started with a great clear, and there is the rail. And now it's gone. The pressure getting the better. It's done. It is Paris Panthers winning. It is Miami Celtics second, and it's Madrid in motion that will finish third here in Paris.
You see the smile on the face of Ben Meyer, what it meant for the Paris Panthers, what it meant for them to try and reignite their season. And all of a sudden, the team that really struggled in the early stages of the campaign is starting to come good towards the middle to latter parts of the season. And now the Paris Panthers are hunting down a top 4 finish. A GCL Super Cup semi-final spot all of a sudden has become a big reality for the Paris Panthers. There was heartbreak for the Istanbul Sultans, who had it on a platter, and frustration as well for the Berlin Eagles. How different would the championship table have looked had the Berlin Eagles jumped that round clear? Had Owen McMahon not had that run out on the fence, it certainly would not look like this. Well, 21 points clear now. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, find themselves ahead of the Berlin Eagles, who might still hold on to second place. But take a look at the gap between the Berlin Eagles all the way down to the Shanghai Swans in fifth. There are just 6 points separating second down to fifth. It means that the hunt for those GCL Super Cup semi-final spots is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. A climb for Volkswagen United and for the Paris Panthers, and then drops all over the bottom half of the table. The Rome Gladiators, New York Empire, London Knights and Cairns Stars all dropping. And despite a really good finish for the Miami Celtics, they still find themselves in 14th place. Now, Lily Atwood, who picked up her first clear in round 2 in Paris. First clear for her brand new team, in fact. We'll remember that competition. We'll remember that round incredibly favorably. She has been retained by the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M today for GCL round 1 in Monaco. Let's hear from Lily Atwood.
I felt for sure it was a big step up for me this year, but I felt all the fences I had, you know, I could have ridden better. They were a bit unlucky, and you know, I knew I could have a clear round, so it was a great feeling to finally get one last week. I wouldn't say doubting myself, you know, I'm quite confident. Yeah, for sure, you know, I was really happy with the clear round. It was definitely a sense of relief, and I think, you know, I produced a clear round in a crucial part of the season. We had not a bad day in GCL round 1, but we for sure needed a double clear, and we, you know, went up a lot from that.
And those two sensational young riders for the Stockholm Hearts delivered those 2 crucial clears that now gives them perhaps even more breathing room in the top of the championship table than they would have expected coming into stage 10. And I wonder if this weekend another good performance from the team would give them even more breathing room, the kind of breathing room that we offered Volkswagen United in 2021, where we suggested they could even miss a stage and still go on to win the title. Now, with Lily Atwood staying, them showing faith in her, a 21-point lead, and Olivia Philippart's coming back into the mix, I wonder if this could well be the gap. Frederik de Backer joins us live from Monaco. New Instagram photos, I'm sure, have already been taken, Frederik. We're talking we're talking about this lead of Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M. Olivia Philippart's coming in, Lily Atwood in form, already 21 points. Could this be the stage where they buy themselves that Volkswagen United type lead that we saw in 2021?
Well, let's say that they've bought themselves that lead in Paris, or if they didn't buy it, they were handed that lead by the Berlin Eagles, of course, with that run out of Owen McMahon. So, yeah, they've got those 21 points in the bag. It gives them a little bit more comfort, a little bit more ease for both Olivier Philipparts, for Marley Meyer-Johnson, who hasn't got Indiana here. It's Alberon and Harley Davidson. So it's a little bit more comfortable.
All right, we just seem to have lost a little bit of contact with Frederik de Backer. We'll try to catch up with him again in a few moments' time. Apologies for some technical faults from Monaco on site. We will touch base with Frederik once again as soon as we are able to re-establish that connection. We'll try and give him some time to be able to reconnect to our studio here in Amsterdam, as before we go back to Monaco to continue getting the thoughts and whether or not they will be able to build on that 21-point lead and give Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, even more breathing space going into the latter parts of the league campaign for the rest of the 2021 season. As we speak about it, as mentioned, Olivia Philipparts comes into the side on H&M Legend of Love, and Lily Atwood, as we said, being retained after that very impressive stage 2 clear alongside Lily Keenan. They were so good in round 1. And as Frederik said, maybe now they were handed that 21-point advantage only because of the penalties, the faults, the flaws that came through from the teams like the Berlin Eagles, like the Istanbul Sultans. So perhaps today an opportunity from the Stockholm Hearts to try and really build onto that lead. But we will be finding out from Jos Verlooy in a few moments' time. He's one of the new riders in the 2022 campaign. He is now rejoined up with the Miami Celtics. Let's hear from him.
It was my own choice, to be honest, not to be on the team, because I had a few horses that were inexperienced in the beginning, not experienced enough to jump on this level. Had a few horses of mine that were injured in the beginning of the season, and they're all back. And the unexperienced horses have now the experience to jump on a bigger level. So that was now on the day that you could change again. I found that I was ready to jump again on the globals.
Why do you think the Celtics choose you for their team?
Well, I think also they've been following me a bit. They've been following the horses that came back to the sport, and I think they're also already thinking ahead to Prague, and hopefully, yeah, and they also see now that my top horse Igor is back. There was other teams also that contacted me, but I feel good by Celtics. I think it's a nice group. It's all my generation, what I rode actually the young riders and the juniors with, so I thought it was fun to ride together with them. I think it's very important to have a good team, that you're a group of friends, and I think that will also make the results better, and I think I had the feeling that this was the case with this team.
So your first appearance on the Celtics will be today. What can you tell us about that?
It's my horse first time in a smaller ring. Like I said, hopefully it works out, but I think it could be his type of ring, and I'm gonna just do as much possible my best and leave all the jumps up.
Is that also the reason you didn't bring Igor yet?
Yeah, and also I did last week a Nations Cup with Igor in Rotterdam. Next week I do the Nations Cup in Knokke, but that's why after this show I'm gonna do a bit steadier with the global, and by Rome hopefully then I'll do some more, and then hopefully I'll do all the globals till the end, and then I know then all my horses will be fresh and ready to perform for the team. I hope that we can climb up on the rankings, which is very necessary, and the main goal is for sure to do a very, very good result in Prague.
So Jos Verlooy will be jumping alongside Michael Duffy today for the Miami Celtics. Nice to have the former Monaco Aces man back in the Global Champions League. What can he now contribute to the Miami Celtics throughout the rest of the season? We will find out. I believe we have re-established connection with Frederik de Backer back in Monaco. Frederik, apologies for that. We didn't want to lose you that quickly. Let's try and pick up here. Let's move on the conversation then to this fight for the top four, because I was trying to do the maths, and I know it's your speciality, but I realized that this fight for the top four almost becomes a fight for second place, because it is so tight between Berlin Eagles in second down to Shanghai Swans in fifth. But I take a look at the teams competing for those positions. Madrid in Motion come with big experience today. Are they perhaps the favorites this weekend to move up to second behind Stockholm Hearts?
That's what it kind of feels like. The Van der Vleutens, of course, father and son, Eric and Michael, and then Angelica Augustsson, all with good horses here, with solid combinations. They've got enough horses here to swap horses around, if necessary, also swap riders around, still with good horses. So they have got the strongest lineup of that top four, top five contending group of teams. Even and I think even Valkenswaard United you can draw into that group as well. They are, what is it? They are 8 points behind the Shanghai Swans. But as you know, if one team makes it onto the podium and those other top four contending teams don't, that's straight away a 10-point gap that you can bridge. So even Valkenswaard United, though they started very slow in the beginning of the season, in my opinion, have now also become a top four contending team. But it's very tight in there, and I think you've made the right analysis with, for example, Shanghai Swans only having 2 riders here and Jean Saint-Laurent only having 1 horse here. With Berlin Eagles having 3 riders here, but 1 rider with only 1 horse, that feels a little bit weak. So yes, I would say that Madrid in Motion has got that strongest lineup of those top 4 contending teams outside of Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M.
To cut that for social media and post it all over the world that Frederik de Backer agrees with my analysis for the Global Champions League today. Frederik, we will let you go for a moment. We will catch up with you again in a couple of moments' time. Frederik de Backer suggesting and perhaps agreeing that Madrid in Motion, with the experienced lineup that they have brought this weekend in Eric and Michael van der Vleuten, may well be one of the top place teams to move into second place, because things have become so tight inside that top 5, inside that top 6. Yes, the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, find themselves in a very comfortable lead at 21 points, but just 6 points separating the Berlin Eagles in second down to Shanghai Swans in fifth. And as Frederik said, correctly so, in fact, Valkenswaard United, who have had a really, really good run of form over the last couple of rounds, will then consider themselves a top 4 potential finisher as well. Now, speaking of the Berlin Eagles, Philip Weishout standing alongside for us to have a conversation. Philip, thank you for joining us today. Nice to have a conversation with you. Can we start with Paris? Has the team put it behind them? Have you recovered emotionally, psychologically? Has Paris been forgotten?
Not quite yet. That was a very hard week for us. I watched it at home. I nearly threw my phone out of the window when I saw what happened. Yeah, but I hope we have a good weekend here and we can make it forget.
Philip, you guys are still in second place, so there is no one that can say the Berlin Eagles have not been having a very good season, but there's no denying that there has been a bit of a downward curve for the Berlin Eagles from a points collection perspective. If I'm not mistaken, 98 points in the first 4 tournaments, 58 points in the last 5. Do you have any idea how and why things perhaps haven't been going the way for the Berlin Eagles?
Yeah, like I said, in Paris we were on the winning road, and then this accident happened on the last jump with my colleague Owen. That was really painful, and we had another bad result in Hamburg. We were really in good form there, and Ludger had a bad round with Milan, the second team competition, and these 2 results really were painful for us.
That said, if you perform very well in Monaco this weekend, Philip, you can close the gap on the Stockholm Hearts. So I see that jumping with a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old today, 2 young horses. Obviously, there is some confidence from you and Owen in those young horses to perform.
Owen has a long partnership with Chakra. I think he's a safe one. For me and Happy Time, it's our first show. So that's going to be really exciting and challenging. We have this weekend our biggest show back home in Aachen. So we are a bit of short on horsepower this week, but we are still trying to do our best.
And Philip, finally, what is the team's goal here? Do you confidently believe that you can catch the Stockholm Hearts to win the championship, or are you keeping an eye on the Prague playoffs and want to stay in top 4?
The moment you stop believing you can win, you better stop riding.
Okay, I like that confidence. Philip Weishout, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck today. The Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Reichsport, confident that they can indeed catch the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, and says that the moment you stop believing that you can go on to win the championship, you might as well stop riding. Berlin Eagles now trail by 21 points, and they will know that the field behind them is incredibly tight. There are just 6 points separating themselves and the Shanghai Swans down in 5th place. They need to perform well today. Philip Weishout and Owen McMahon need to respond to what took place in Paris this weekend. They will be the second last team to come out the gate today. They will be just behind the Hamburg Giants, who themselves have certainly been fighting battles both on and off the field. What will the response be today from the team that is powered by Fundis Reichsport? Now, we caught up with Edwina Tops-Alexander earlier on today and find out some thoughts and get some comments from her to find out exactly how Falcons United are feeling going into this week's event. I beg your pardon. We are talking about the arena first. Let's go there. Smallest arena of the year. Let's find out how the riders feel.
As you can see, the ring's a lot smaller than normal outdoor arenas, so everything comes up quite fast. Everything's out the turn, so you're going to have to make sure you're in a good rhythm and you're thinking fast. But obviously, it's an amazing location, so you can't complain.
All the fans comes really quick, you know, like you have to be really, you know, like quick, tack, tack, tack. So, yeah, you just have to be ready all the time, and then you try your best.
The technicality of the course is very high. You don't have much time to really prepare everything, so you have to be really on the ball and respond to the situation quickly. So it's a fast round.
It's a bit challenging. I like a different kind of rings. And I actually really enjoy it when everything comes quicker. It's more challenging, and it's not boring. You don't have so much time between the fences to think. I think every 3-4 strides you have your next fence that you have to jump.
The course builder is going to have to, well, Juliano, he's going to have a challenge this week. I mean, to build a 5-star Grand Prix or 5-star tracks even in an arena like this, it's definitely going to prove difficult. So I guess we'll see a lot of lines, a lot of distances, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
So here is the arena in question. This is what is going to pose, I have no doubt, a handful of challenges today to the best riders in the world. Incredibly small, incredibly intimate, and hearing from a handful of those riders now how quickly things come to the riders, how quickly it moves on to the horses, the high level of technicality that Anna Kelnerova is talking about. It does make Monaco a very, very tricky ground. And I wonder just how this year's riders, the class of 2022, are going to be able to compete and deal with the challenges that Uliana Vidzani, the course designer, will put together today for the Global Champions League Round 1. How will we see the scores? How do the scores, in fact, of Monaco compare to the rest of the season? How does it then look if you were to compare it to what was an incredibly difficult and tricky track in Paris last weekend? Well, we'll cross it back down to Monaco in a few moments' time and have a conversation with Frederick de Backer to find out exactly what it is that makes Monaco such a challenging ground. Back to the ring we go, back inside the arena we go. Frederick de Backer on The Insider, and I remind you all to watch The Insider, available with your GCTV Live Pass. You touched on how and why Monaco can be so challenging. Can you remind us just some of the challenges that will be facing the riders by competing in such a unique ground like this weekend?
Well, there's actually a lot that
Oh dear, we seem to be having some more technical difficulties with Frederick de Backer. The connection in Monaco giving us a rather tough time, and I do apologize. This time we will try and get back to him as quickly as we can. As we see some live pictures there of Gilles Thomas, let's not forget, the young Belgian, will be riding for Valkenswaard United later on today. He will be alongside Edwina Tops Alexander on Ferromas. He's been having an outstanding season thus far, has Gilles Thomas. Let's see if we are back with Frederick de Backer. Are you with us once more, Frederick? Apologies.
Mark, I am always with you.
Yes. Yes, right. I like the sound of that. Apologies. We lost you once more. You were busy telling us, and please pick it up from the top. What is it that makes Monaco such a challenge?
The light to start with, then the proximity of spectators, hospitality, VIP, all very close around the ring, so that makes the ring even smaller. And then with the limited width, it's really bouncing in and out of the corners. You always jump deep into the corners, and as you come out of a turn, boom, there is a -55, -60 fence just in front of your nose. So you need really quick reactions. It really feels, and we make this comparison all the time, it's like a pinball machine. You bounce off the walls, you go left and right, and you just have to kind of go with the flow and follow it. But I've made the comparison. This arena has got 2,000 square meter surface. If you go to Hamburg, that's 12,000 square meter surface. So this arena fits 6 times into Hamburg. I think that says it all.
It does. Now, I remember last year, the Paris Panthers had a really good weekend in Monaco. They were able to win on a clean sheet. It was Niall Nasser and Dara Kenny, if I'm not mistaken. Talk to us about then the numbers in this Monaco ring. Is it expected that such low scores can be produced in Monaco, or was that perhaps a bit of a surprise to what normally is seen?
Well, Monaco has produced 3 clean sheets since 2016, since the start of Global Champions League. So that's interesting to know. That's actually fairly high. What is also fairly high is actually the clear round rate in general. You get a lot of clear rounds, but bizarrely, you also have a high average score per round here in Monaco, which means that on one side you've got a lot of clears, but that is balanced out with high scores on the other end. So there's quite a spread always in general here in Monaco, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out in GCL Round 1. I'm just waiting to see which riders that I can talk to. Who's coming over here? Not just yet, Mark. I need another question from you.
I've got one. I have plenty. Don't you worry. I wanted to ask about Paris Panthers. We're talking about the 2021 winners in Monaco. Dara Kenny is there, but there's no Ben Mayer from Paris last weekend. There's no Niall Nasser from Paris last year. But before I ask Paris Panthers, FMS comes to picture. We go to FMS. That's the deal. Frederick, over to you.
FMS, how are you doing?
Everything good. Thank you, Frederick.
Mark, tell me, if this smile doesn't make you happy, you can be the saddest you can be all year, but if this smile doesn't make you happy, I don't know what can make you happy. Fernando, you've walked the course. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it comes quick. There's a couple of short distances. I think, yeah, for me, it's a good first day. It's not big oxer coming out of the corner, so yeah, I think it's pretty fair for the first day.
You do feel that it is it's jumpable. Is it then because of the tightness of the course that it feels big? Because when I walked up to the vertical of Longino fence, what is it, 2 and 3 and 4, like oxen number 4? That's quite a big oxen, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's tight. I think that's why you have the side of the ring really close. So yeah, for sure, I think horses are a little bit backing off, and yeah, probably it's gonna feel like a big horse, but I don't think it's so big.
All right, you played down a little. That's good to hear. Tell me about the team. What can we expect from you guys? Who's on?
Shane and me. Yeah, we have both quite quick horses that suits this kind of ring, so hopefully we have a good day.
Okay, super. Fernando, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try to catch Laura Klaphake if you don't mind. There's Laura Klaphake. Laura Klaphake, how are you doing? Where's the star jumper?
Not here yet because it's so warm to wear it.
Okay, that's a...
Sorry, I was thinking about my vest. The star jumper is at home. It was in the washing machine. That it's ready for the next show where it's a bit colder.
You just made Mark Lewis's day, I can promise you that. Let's get down to business, let's get serious. What does the course look like to you? Is it big, is it small, is it easy, is it difficult?
Okay, I think, to be honest, in this arena, everything is a bit difficult for the horses because everything comes so fast. You always have to jump, going to the corners. When horses are a bit spooky, sometimes they jump away from the sides and you have the triple combination on the side. So I think it's a course where you can have falls here and there. It's not that you say, okay, there's one tricky line. Just falls can happen so fast here.
So it's not overly big and it's not overly difficult, but it is delicate.
I mean, these classes are never easy and never small. Definitely, it's always demanding, and yeah, you have to be very competitive. But I would not say it's bigger than all the other shows or smaller. It's like always big enough, and you need to be focused and concentrated, especially in this arena.
All right, good analysis. I will let you go. Looking forward to see you in that star jumper. Don't get any excuses. There she goes, Mark. Laura Klaphake for the London Knights.
And
that's their analysis.
We will send her a text to make sure that she brings that star jumper to the next event that she has promised. Before I let you go, and before we run out of time, we're hearing about everything coming very quick and coming very fast in this pinball-like arena that you've mentioned, Frederik de Backer. Before we let you go, give us a quick idea as to what Uliano has put together today. What really stands out? What is the major challenge facing the riders here today?
Well, it is that coming out of the corner, for example, if we can turn, I don't know which camera, but this is, for example, the triple combination. This really explains what Monaco is all about. Triple combination sits deep into the corner. You have to get your first distance. If you don't get your distance right, it's difficult. Fence 8, for example, is also a good example. Really jumping nearly into hospitality. Horses need to keep straight, need to stay very...
All right, so unfortunately, the technical side is letting us down terribly today, and for that we do apologize. Losing Frederik de Backer, let's hope that'll be the last. I beg your pardon, that'll be the last time this weekend that we have any difficulties like that. We will look into it and try and work on it as quickly as possible. But we will let Frederik move into his commentary seat as quickly as possible. We will allow the riders to get into the warm-up ring and come into the ring as quickly as possible. First team out the gate, Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, your championship leaders. So stay with us here on GCTV. Round 1 of Global Champions League, live from Monaco, is next.
Les guettes V22 sont conçues à partir de néoprène non toxique, à séchage rapide, durable et résistant, offrant soutien et protection optimale à mes chevaux. Avec V22, je donne la meilleure protection à mes chevaux. Et cela m'amène de la confiance pour augmenter ma performance.
Lamisil. The future is green.
global champions. Valkenswaard is the European equestrian hub. Incredible grass and sand arenas in the perfect setting to host top sport and the best performances. In the Netherlands at Tops International Arena, the Longines Global Champions Tour of Valkenswaard from the 26th to the 28th of August.